Just how many students will opt out? It's been a growing controversy across the state. News 4's Dave Graber is breaking down both sides from parents and education leaders for us tonight. Dave?
Well, and Lena, a growing number of parents across the state will allow their children to opt out of state assessment tests. It's a good sign for leaders of the recent sit and stare movement. But education leaders say those intentions are misguided and damaging to the state's education system. While the number of students who opt out of state assessment tests is expected to triple this year over last, the question remains how teachers will be evaluated. An estimated 180,000 students across the state, mostly on Long Island and in Western New York, are expected to opt out of those tests when they start next Tuesday. Chris Cerrone, a school board member and parent of 2 children in Springville, is hopeful that numbers like that will move the dial in Albany.
I'm hoping for just a massive boycott of the state assessment system. If this can happen, maybe our leaders in Albany will finally listen to the parents and the families and the educators of New York.
New York State uses the results of the annual assessments to gauge the performance of students and teachers. And if enough of their students opt out of those tests, teachers could be evaluated on their local system.
We cannot wait any longer to stand up for our children's education. If you look at what's happening right now, what's being lost, their educational opportunities being lost. So I would encourage every parent that there is no harm to teacher evaluations if their students boycott. It actually helps teachers because they can use a local measure instead of the state measure if there is a large number of boycotts.
But will that approach backfire for teachers? Education leaders say yes.
They're breaking the law, and so I don't know how much clearer to make it. This is absolutely absurd to see adults behaving to advance a political cause because they don't like the teacher evaluation law.
Now, I'm still waiting to hear from the state's Department of Education to get a final word on how teachers will be evaluated if too many of their students opt out of those tests. All they'll say now is the department is reviewing the teacher evaluation system and how the law will be implemented. That means no one really knows the fallout from the opt-out. Live in the studio, Dave Graber, News 4 at 5:30.